back to the Osprey. In August, you said that the department has confidence in the Osprey as a platform. Given everything that's come out this past week, is that still true? Is that still an accurate statement?
Well, thanks, Constantine, for the question. And I think, as you heard me say to Tara earlier, again, we've seen this done before with other platforms. Out of an abundance of caution, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, and the Navy are standing down their Osprey fleet. I would direct you to the services to speak to of when they're going to be back up in the air. But as you can understand, there will always be an inherent risk in military aviation. And to mitigate that risk, we will continue to maintain the high level of operational standardization for all of our pilots and for all of the crew. As you probably know, the Osprey is one of the premier assault aviation systems that we have. It is versatile, its speed and its vertical lift capabilities are not met by any other platform existing in fixed or rotary wing platforms. And so it's an incredibly useful platform for all of our services to use. Again, out of an abundance of caution, there has been a stand down, and I would direct you to the services for when those will be back up in the air. All right, I will take one more from the phone, and then I'll come back in the room. Chris Gordon.
Thanks, Sabrina. Senator Warren expressed concern during a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing yesterday about too many service members are receiving lasting injuries or losing their lives due to accidents. Does the Pentagon share that view? And what could be done to make training safer broadly? Does the department need to review training accidents in whatever form, aviation or other?
Well, thanks, Chris, for the question. Well, as you can see, I mean, the Air Force is doing an investigation right now into the mishap that happened off the coast of Japan. Safety, security of our personnel, whether it be in our Air Force, our Army, our Navy, our Marine Corps, we take that very seriously. That's something that the Secretary, I know, is a priority for him. And so we are evaluating anytime that there is a mishap and there's an investigation, taking the lessons learned from that and applying it and making sure that safety protocols and procedures are followed and enhanced if need be. All right, I'm going to come back in the room. Tom.
Thanks, Sabrina. Quick two questions. One on the Osprey. Do the services have the ability to do a stand down independently, or does that have to be service-wide?
They can do it independently. Yeah.
So, thanks. And the second question, unrelated to Osprey, the president of Guyana yesterday said that he's requesting possible U.S. military support because of Venezuela's referendum and the oil fields. This is not getting ahead of a decision, but this is the clarification. Would such a request stay at Southcom, or would it have to come to the Pentagon? How does that work?
Well, of course, any decision, whether it's requesting military support, of course, would originate at the COCOM and then, of course, flow up through OSD.
Thank you.
Great. Fadi.
Thank you, Sabrina. I want to go back to Idris' question.
Sure.
So this is you said you saw the report. I guess you're talking about the Human Rights Watch and Amnesty targeting Reuters photographer, my late friend Issam Abdallah, and 6 other journalists, including Al Jazeera and AFP. This incident happened in Lebanon. It didn't happen in Gaza, where Hamas exists. According to the reports, it was deliberate and it amounts to a war crime. In addition to these discussions, does the Secretary support accountability when it comes to the killing of Issam Abdallah and the targeting of these journalists?
Well, first, Fadi, I'm so sorry. I had no idea that you knew this journalist, and of course our thoughts on behalf of the department are with you and, of course, the family. Look, we are in constant communication, near daily communication with the Secretary's Israeli counterparts, and also here from senior levels engaging with the Israeli government. You've seen all types from the Vice President's office. Her national security advisor was just in the region as well, engaging with his Israeli counterparts to discuss what is happening within Gaza and around Israel. We do not want to see this conflict spread out into a wider regional conflict. As you know, we've sent and surged assets into the region to bolster our deterrence and send a message that we do not want to see this conflict widen. And that also means any conflict or clashes along the northern border. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The targeting of innocent civilians is something that we take very seriously. And so we are in all of our conversations with the Israeli government, urging that they always take into account innocent civilians as they are conducting their operations against a terrorist organization that is Hamas.
Okay, and thank you. On a separate issue, Israeli forces announced yesterday that they have received so far almost 10,000 tons of equipment and ammunition and almost 200 air shipment. Are you able to say whether all of that came from the U.S. or how the proportion of U.S. aid as part of what was announced?
I can't say for certain what part is U.S. support. We've been very clear that we're going to continue to support Israel with security assistance through FMS and FMF, and as long as they need that support to conduct their operations against Hamas. But in terms of the announcement that the Israeli government made, I can't tell you what specifically in that package that was delivered was U.S. military assistance. All I can tell you is that we are continuing to support Israel. I'll just leave it at that. Sure.
For the future, this is not a question.
Yeah.
Will you be able to compile the amount of assistance that's been provided, whether in a dollar term or, I don't know, weight or whatever?
Yeah, that's something that I know you've asked about. That's something that we're working through. The difference and what makes it difficult is that the way we provide security assistance, let's say to Ukraine, is through coming off of our stock shelves, and it's through the Presidential Drawdown Authority, which is different from the funding mechanisms such as FMS and FMF. We are working on it. It's not that I've forgotten. I certainly haven't. As you know, we've said that we're providing, just broad strokes, Israel with ammunition, precision-guided munitions, and then air defense, of course, as well.